Hey everyone, FPS Chazzle here. Welcome back to Let's Play Dangerous Waters Lou Doctrine with Lami. Again, we are back in the Seawolf. Last time, thanks to Mr. Renicow and possibly others, I can't remember, we decided to reset our tactical situation. Hindsight, I would have just gone around this way instead of going straight for the jugular. But now we're back in front. We're above the layer. And we're ready to start our attack run. Since last time, thank you to S8NNNNN, Max 303, Vizentrop, Legend of Dolphin, Ferrari 2310, and JOO Pig for following. Man, it's a lot today. Thank you guys for following. Yeah, this is pretty much as good as it can get. We could honestly even run like a little further south if we wanted to at this point, but I actually want to stay up here to get the TMA-ness instead of having them come straight at me. A little bit of bearing right here. We're going due south, 5 knots. We'll hang out at this because there's no reason to be maneuvering crazy anymore. How much air do we have? Got enough for 19 shots. That should be fine. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to recharge that back earlier in the mission. Okay, everything is good to go. Alright, we're just going to move south. In an hour, we would be about just right outside that little bubble. It's a good place to be. In an hour, they'll be about here. So we should probably go at like a... Well, we could go at a 45-degree angle. But if we go like this, we'll get a good bearing rate. Is this the maximum bearing rate for them? That's a good question. Yeah, we're pretty far out here. We got pretty good in front of them. We'll hang out like this. No, stay down here. Let's try and stay beneath any mad sensors here. Thankfully the layer's kind of deep, I guess, in that respect, huh? Our toads should be above the layer. Man, that sphere is just so hard to see anything. But yeah, very faint tracks. They're all pretty far. They're all pretty far. Yeah, we really got out in front of them here. So our main goal here is to try and actually find everything, so I may be doing some auto crewage to let them chew at it. Surely I don't have a whole hour. Don't call me Shirley. Of course I do. In an hour, the group is only going to be here. And I'll be here. We're still going to be 17 miles apart in an hour. Assuming I maintain this like steady stateness. I can also go this way. And then we'll only be 13 miles apart, but that's still pretty far. That is further than I like to shoot. I'm thinking the way out is the way in. We come in, we shoot, and then we just run back the same way we came. Yeah, we don't care about the escorts, though. They're not going to find me. We're worried about the big tuna. VLS ships and Liaoning, Xiaolang, whatever they call it. What are the VLS ships again? Sink or severely damage the CV. Alternative objective is to kill on all VLS ships. 1 Liang, 2 Junkai. There's a Junkai. There's a Liu Yang too. And I don't think we found the other Junkai, or it may be sunk. Not sure. In less than an hour, aircraft from around the world. Something something Independence Day. Now in an hour, Master 3 will be, it'll be 10 to 14 miles away. It's still really far. And at 5 knots, I am confident. I mean, we can go super slow too. I mean, once we get in good position, we're just gonna slink in, get in real close. I don't think any of these front escorts have survived. I think it's just wide open. We're going in. We're going to the thick of it. Whoa. Everything just punched up. Was the toad beneath the layer and then came above the layer? Or is there some weird station keeping thing going on? It was this Sierra 8-1. Man, we've had Master 1 for a long time. Now there's a name I've not heard in a long time. Long time. Do you know him? Of course I know him. He's me. And plop something in like that. Where did that just move her around? Kind of just like right where it was. That fire still out here somewhere? I don't think so. The fire was burning for a while. Dude, we're so far out, I could probably be ballsy enough to go to periscope depth and snorkel to recharge the air banks, but no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I want to be close in just to guarantee hits. They were cooking burgers. Cooking burgers over the... What was that bunker oil called? In Russian. What do they call it? Oh, I forget. It's the malut. Manut. Something like that. They were cooking the burgers over a bunker oil fire. Yeah, we're gonna get in close here. There's probably not much of a point in trying to sneak a torp beneath the layer because the shadow zone is so far away. 4 miles. It might be worth it. Not sure. Okay, so who is pinging in this formation? That is a question. Master 3 has been pinging. Okay. Oh, but we don't care about Master 3. He's all the way the hell out of Pearl. Alright, we also need to watch Hunt for Red October at some point here shortly. For obvious reasons. Yeah, these are all pretty much as good as they're gonna get. We got them nailed down. We got them nailed down. Yeah, there was some weird stuff going on back here. This time frame. I wish I could click on those. I wish I could click on these lines and like know what time it's from. That would be fantastic. I need to make a wish list for massless. Punch it in. Punch solution into computer. Do not open the doors. I have to figure out a way to watch Red October. It's not on them, their Twitch watch parties, so that won't work. I already checked. This is all we have on Series 8 too, huh? Okay, well his solution will require some finagling, but we have a decent sense of where that jabroni is at. Max303, hello. Yes, this is a continuation of last Friday's stream. How long has this been going on now? This is like 4 weeks worth of streams or something. Ensonified water. Man, that one Junkai is all the way out there. How ballsy would it be to like be like, alright, let's sink these guys and then make a beeline for this guy to try and sink him too? In that case, we should really probably just go for this thing. But we can play it by ear. I don't think a salvo of 4 harpoons would be enough to take this guy out. That would be ballsy. Okay, we should adjust our bearing rate here a little bit. I guess the only real effective way to do it would be to turn back the other way, because if I turn parallel to them, it's not really going to be very helpful. Yeah, they were all loud and quiet, now they're all noisy. What the heck gives? Which one of those is Sierra 19? Should be at 9.8. Yeah, that should be him right there. These other guys are all just like very noisy. But it wasn't all at the same time, so I'm thinking it's some kind of weird station keeping thing. Oh, I thought wherever your cursor was on broadband, it would just switch to that when you go to narrowband. And this is, of course, the best way to be facing for mirror contacts, because we won't have any... Nobody in here will be mirrored. Sierra 8.3, is that what Sierra 8.1? I wish they would, like, put the dots up there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We have a contact zig based on bearing rate, do we? No, I don't think this guy has changed course. Hard to say, though. They're all... That other solution was kind of like leaning to the right, too, wasn't it? And maybe not. Master 11. Well, let's try and classify that guy. He should be off by his lonesome over there. Oh, well, he just... Seems like he just canned it, whatever it was. 5180. Yeah, who's that? Something... 8684 realm. That Master 2. Something's stirring him up here. Hello, Fragsar. Some Friday boom. Boom! Oh, shit. I was just trying to fiddle with something in OBS there. Never mind. Never mind. Perhaps just use the torps on the escorts. I mean, we can get to such a position where we're like equidistant from these guys, but I mean, I'm almost half tempted to say the escorts I may have to deal with eventually, but I'm probably going to leave them alone at first. Go for the capital targets. Need to find out. Okay, so Master 11 was a 5180. I don't think that tells us much specifically whether VLS or not. Yeah, it could be Junkai, Jungwei, Junghu. We need a third frequency on that guy to know if that's a target. Capital target.
Sonar, I have a new contact. Bearing 084. Designated Sierra 84.
That's interesting. That's not Master 2, huh? We've not reacquired Master 2. What bearing is Master 2 on? Or supposedly on? 8-1, huh? $51.05. Wait, what? We're seeing two 51.05s? That doesn't make any sense. There's only one 51.05 out here. Oh, wait, no, that's a Luda. Okay. The carrier's 5110. Okay. That had startled me. Carrier's supposed to be at 9.7. Okay, carrier's way the hell over here. Yeah, Thirsty Blows. Wait, so we got two Ludas? Yeah, it seems so. Luda's not a target, right? No, there's no VLS on that. Okay, so Sierra 8-4. Sierra 8-2. Is this one right here? 175. Fu Ching. AOR. Oh, but it could also, no, it's probably just one of these container ships or cargo ships or whatever. That's Sierra 8-2. I don't really care about that then. I take that tracker off. Yeah, our guy out here is really quiet. Master 11. Dude's far. Sierra 8-4. But yeah, Master 2 is supposed to be the Junkai. Somewhere around here. And that's probably another container ship right there, which we are not to touch. Your men said Santiago wasn't to be touched. Doesn't the Seawolf and Luami carry the Tasm? Yeah, I believe so, but I don't take it for historical purposes. How good is their air defense now that I really think about it? Based on like what I've done in the past with parry against like a Junkai or Jungwei earlier in this campaign, that thing was rather decent. Especially if it's one of these VLS guys. Like with all those 4 subs earlier, it should really be coordinated that you do like some like missiles, standoff missile strike or something somehow. And then kind of move on in later. That would be fun. But me with like maybe 6 missiles at once, I wouldn't be confident going against anything than like one single ship. Like this guy, probably 4 missiles would be fine. And it depends on the range too. I mean, we got... I put 3 poons in. Okay, well we got some poons loaded up. We have a long time to make that decision. It'll take 18 minutes to put a missile in the tube. No, I was not planning to do missiles. And it's not like Cold Water where once you take out like the capital ship, everything just kind of scatters. Because that's usually when I like to use missiles in that game, was to try and mop up. This is weird. Yoink, boink. What is that? That's a container ship. Whatever's doing that. Warbity wobble, woobity boobity. Yeah, I mean, if this guy's like as quiet as like this guy, I mean, we're gonna say like, I'm gonna say like a Jungwei here at first. Okay, that's old. That's an older thing. This is the newer thing with the silly shape. Sierra A2, I think, is actually probably like a an oiler or something. But he's been like maneuvering. That's weird. Master 9? Who the heck is that? Okay, we haven't heard from this guy since all that stuff. I don't know who this guy is. Oh, missiles, ugh. Missiles sketch me out. Just like, hello, here I am. Come find me. But yeah, surface groups are, they're always tricky. They always seem like they're suicidal. Way of blowing all the efforts. Trench gun 93, what is the TMA for? So you use it to figure out where a ship is, what it's doing. So like use it to figure out course, range, and speed. You know bearing. And just by analyzing a bunch of different bearings to the target over time, you take it's so in this mod you get like a new line of bearing to the target every 2 minutes. Doing some mathematical trickery, you can figure out what a contact is doing. It's a way of figuring it out without using active emissions, whether that be active sonar or radar. Usually only kind of useful in the build up to an engagement, because you have to bear in mind that everything you're seeing is something that's already happened. So like once the torpedoes start flying and people are maneuvering like crazy, it's not really the most reliable way to try and figure out where someone is. At least by itself. But in this situation, it's perfect for this. Just trying to figure out what all these guys are doing. They're kind of just running around in a predictable fashion. Constant course and speed. It's pretty easy to figure out their course and speed and range. Once we get closer, I'll probably switch to auto. I don't know what's going on with these two tracks that seem to be kind of like maneuvering. Oh, I took a tracker off of a 8-2. Fairly certain that guy's just a container ship. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna come back across here. We're gonna come back up this way to get some other data on some guys. We're in a good position here. We have the luxury of doing this. We'll do it for a few minutes. Cal, TMA is an estimate. You're just using passive sensors. Thanks. Not got the hang of all the stations yet. Oh, TMA will be the one that will take you the longest. It is as much an art as it is a science. I, at some point, want to try and make like my complete TMA guide. But that will take a lot of work. At Bob, not sure what you mean. Well, you're never gonna like exactly know where someone is with TMA. No one on the spherical yet, that's a good sign. When do I want to let the auto crew take over? That's a good question. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I mean, there could also be nuclear subs in this formation. Yeah, like, what is this guy doing? This looks more like a sub.
Con, sonar, I have a new contact. Bearing 099. Designated Sierra 85.
That's gotta be someone in the back of the formation, huh? Wow, that seems like loud. Seems like we had not been getting pings for a while there.
Steady on course 3, 4, 5.
And another thing with TMA is like to get the best data, you have to position the ship a certain way, and the tactical situation may not allow that. Oh, is this our guy down here? We're finally getting a third frequency. 310. No, wait, was that someone else? Yeah, this is someone else. 50-175-310. Well, we can figure out what that is at least. Super tanker. Okay, yeah, don't care. I was talking about our boy out this way. Alright, well, what are we expecting? Expecting somewhere around like 430 to 460. Thereabouts. Too far still. Too far. Signal is still too weak. Alright, we're finally centering out this turn here. Looks like everyone has chilled it. Cooled their jets. It's Sierra 19. Wait, what? No, Sierra 19 is just chugging along there, doing his thing. No, Sierra 84 was there. Wait, who was this guy then? Is the sonar going crazy? Sierra 19's over here at 9.7. That's not Sierra 19. Sierra 19's over here. Figmo, hello. Does it use differences between your towed and ship array readings, or is it more based on the change in measurement from one? No, it's usually just based on the change in measurement from one. You can technically use both to get a sense of a triangulation, but usually the errors in that are pretty high, that it's not always the most reliable way to get a triangulation. And what I mean is, like, say if we're going to, after Sierra 19, and let's say, let me get rid of these marks here. Let's say your bow sonar's here. Your boat is, I don't know, this long. And maybe your TMA is here. About 1,000 feet back. Overall. No, let's say like 1,300 feet. So let's say 400 yards. So your TMA is here. You will get different bearings to this guy from here. But if there's any slight error in those bearings, your triangulation could go from like here to here. So it's kind of dubious. It really only works with rather close contacts. So I try not to do that. I mean, if you strung that towed out really far, you would help mitigate that. And then also the Seawolf has these wide aperture array panels that actually will triangulate and calculate a range to someone. But we're too far away for that to work at the moment. But that's also another tool in that respect. But no, it's usually just looking at the trends of bearing over time for one sensor. Figmo, oh geez, just seen their position relative to the fleet. Is the plan to go under them? We're gonna mosey right on up to the front door. What's the plan? Is it gonna sail into New York Harbor, pop the hatch, and say, "Here I am"? Maybe that simple, yes. Well, things may appear that simple from a cubicle at Langley. But when you're out here on the Atlantic with 1,000 tons of Soviet warships bearing down on you, it gets a bit more complex. Yes, and the other problem that's usually a problem with the Toad is it has to be at a steady state, so it cannot be moving relative to like your ship, or you'll get wonky data. So like when I did this turn here, this is the baffle for the Toad. You can see it's turning. You cannot use any of the data from that turn. It is all a bunch of crap. So you can sometimes see that with some distance solutions on the Toad, like the bearing dots will be like very noisy, but you can kind of like fit the ruler to the trend of them. But it can be sketchy. Oh, we're still not getting a third frequency on this punk. Alright, it's time to go pump out the bilge. Another issue with Toad and spherical triangulations is that if your lines of bearing don't come in at the exact same moment, that will also throw off your triangulation. So in those types of situations, I usually like to just do it like when you have a contact like this, before you make a solution for it. They'll actually be updated live on the nav map as long as you have a tracker on them. So that's the only time I like to try and do like a loose triangulation using the bow and Toad sensors together. Can be a little wonky in TMA. I read Storm Party in Discord, 20 people saying, "Do not open the doors." I mean, once the weapons start flying, I'm pinging. Like it's all a crapshoot at that point. Like I'm sending out pings just to get rapid localizations on people's positions. Like if you're in a gunfight, sending volleys of torpedoes back and forth, like just use pings. And like Lawami, it probably wouldn't work as well because they kind of nerfed him. But use pings, just get a rapid localization. All right, when are we gonna let this auto crew take over? I don't want to miss anything. Sierra 84. We got some pings from Sierra 85, but it seems like they stopped now. We're still getting them. They're very faint. Distant contact, probably submerged. If I had to guess, sounds like we got a boomer cut headed out of the barn. Could be a missile boat headed out of Palione. They had to put that second line in. Sounds like they added it in post. Tom Clancy's like, they're not gonna know what a boomer coming out of the barn is or something. Who's the new guy? That was Sierra 85 we just put up. Okay, interesting. What bearing we got there? 102. There's your Zhenya. (102) may be a Luda. Medium hostile. I think we can stay on manual. Let's stay on manual. This herd got thinned out a bit with those airstrikes. It seems interesting that, yeah, all the outer pickets seem to have gotten taken out. It's really just this, like, core group now. Hey, Visentrop. How's it going? Yeah, Bob, that's a good way to put it. Trench, the idea is to just take a guess and then watch why it doesn't work over time, then make adjustments. Yeah. You have to just kind of use your intuition to try and see what you think a contact should be doing at that time, and then see if that is validated over time. And there's tools to help you narrow down what a contact can be doing, namely maneuvering. You turn a few times, that'll really help nail down your solution. You just bought Dangerous Waters on Steam still. Who doggy? Yeah, my book Big Red that I'm finishing up about the authors spent 3 months on a cruise on the USS Nebraska, an Ohio class submarine. During their like torpedo drills, they would have several different people trying to figure out a solution, and then that would all get to the XO, and he would actually try and figure out what the best solution was. So you guys new viewers then? Find me through that modern naval warfare video or something else? Okay, we've gotten some data this way. We should probably turn back now. Okay, whose solution were we not sure of? Sierra 84 was a weird one. Oh, I see. Now return back to base course. Whatever the heck he was doing before. Maybe. What's the bearing of that schmuck? We should be able to ID that guy. 84. Yeah, it's a tanker. Okay. Let's see here. Wait, what does it say precisely? 60, 175, 310. Is that a super tanker just with a 60 hertz? Yep, it's an American super tanker. I don't think this will distinguish it. Surface ships. Super tanker full. Confidence high. They're not targets, so we'll just say neutral for now. What's super tanker full? Oh, that's fun. Well, they should both be full. Just after Thanksgiving dinner. That's cool. It's crazy how much lower those things get in the water when they're full. All right, let's come back.
Come left to course 204. Helm aye.
Oh, we missed some chat here. Wanted a bit more detail in cold waters. Turns out he got a lot more. Be careful what you ask for. Thankfully, auto crew is a thing. Cal started out with RSR in the barracks when we were in port. Burned down the floppy disk after about 3 months. Dude, I was like 3 when you got it. Holy crap. That's awesome. I was 14 when Dangerous Waters came out. I first got it when I was 10. I got sub command. Max, I'm very new to Dangerous Waters, although I played other sims with subs in it. Very good. Oh, you and me are the same age. If it makes any sense, I had an FT once hand me a cold beer and say, try not to think too much with TMA. Now I feel like the old guy. No, I don't feel old. I just feel older. Yeah, TMA takes a while to learn. Not everyone wants to do it. You don't necessarily have to, but it's worth working it a little bit just to understand how it works. Because your autocrew TMA will work much better if you know how TMA works with respect to maneuvering your sub and all that stuff. Timon83, hi, it's springtime. It's fall time here. Not old, but wise. Maybe. I will never be one to call myself wise. Is that wise? Is that a paradox? I don't know. Alright, there's a lot of stuff right down 9-4. That's like the thicket. Oh, the sunlight just kicked up a notch. Did you guys all see that? There's a lot of stuff down 9-4. What does that mean? It doesn't really look like it on the tactical map. Place your targets on the tactical map. Otherwise, get the hell out of there. Repeat. We are commencing airstrikes and pulling out. Forget about Freeman. Whoa, what is that? Seems like that just came from nowhere. 5145. Did we have a third? Don't believe so. It's too faint. 5145. Lu Yang. Oh, hello. Maybe we just got Master 3. Was that Master 3? Okay, the Chinese don't have any gas turbines. That's interesting. Yeah, it's weird. All their ships are like diesels. I'm used to like all U.S. warships being gas turbine. Son says he spent first 2 years doing TMA on a Perry for the Australian Navy. Well, that's cool. 59 going on 19. Excuse me, sorry. Perry's a badass boat. Yeah. It's definitely a boat of the past, though. Presumably, it's a lot easier with a modern sub such as Astute or Seawolf IRL versus, say, a Trafalgar. Oh, yeah, of course. I'd assume some of that workload is taken off now. Oh, to do TMA? That I don't know. But to do things in those subs, yeah, that should be much easier. The Seawolf is like an F-22 underwater, basically. But they all do a bunch of sneaky stuff, all the Seawolves. Even more so than normal submarines. Holy hell, that Master 3 sounded exactly like Coldwater's. What do you mean? Yeah, the computer will, from what I've heard, the computer will make their own solutions, but they always have guys doing backup solutions in case the system fails. What is going on? Oh, we're turning. Okay, never mind. Toad is turning. Disregard all weird-looking stuff. Oh, okay. I understand now. Okay. Con sonar, new contact bearing 039. Merchant. CRTs. Cathode ray tube. Did you sink the Chinese CV? Not yet. He's right there.
Steady on course.
We are taking our sweet time. Gonna do this right. Trying to avoid some pucker factor with Master 3 here. Wow, what was that? No, it's not 106. Tell me what tell me what that one is. Oh god. That's probably Master 3. It's fine. Pings are so worthless in Luami. Oh, I love a good solution. Look at this. Look at all this data. Let me back it out. Excuse me. Okay, that's probably more backing out than is useful. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about turning, affecting the data. Look how I moved the ruler here. You can see like where my turns were. There was a turn here, there's a turn here. So the point where like all these line up is a great point to be. This, of course, is assuming that the thing is at constant speed and course. We're going to lock in that 270 because we know that's what they're doing. And you get a beautiful thing. See, but you don't always necessarily have to lock it in. Like, I don't like how 270 looks. It doesn't look good. Like, I know that's kind of what they're doing, but they could be off a little bit. We're going to go with what looks good. This looks good. We're going to punch that in. And when you're doing TMA, it's a good idea to turn history on and off to see where the solution's been kind of moving about. So we just kind of pushed him back a little bit there. But that's looking good. It's great when people are pinging all the time, because you just get that much more data to work with. And pings are pretty reliable. At least in this game, the bearings you get for them are much more reliable than Toad. Well, you know, paper doesn't break or freeze. Good point. Some strong active. It's not too bad. Hi, Figma 42 is me, Springtime. Oh, hello. You guys know each other. Well. Paper's annoying as hell. Yep. Staying away for an extra watch. That sounds terrible. I mean, if I'm working like an engineering problem, I definitely want to do that on paper. It's kind of one thing to work it in like Excel. But yeah, I always like working it on paper. I wish there was a way to like you could just get rid of data, because like I know these are crappy data from the Toad turn. I just wish I could click them and delete them. Like just get rid of them, or just like don't send any data during this time frame. It seems weird that guy's so far out. That right. Seems like it. It's just so far out there for a... You'd think these guys all just be like back in here. Many a paper chart has died from coffee. Have I played Command Modern Operations? I played the Silent Service DLC or whatever when that came out. They sent it to me for free. I streamed it. I just played a little bit of it. It was kind of boring just to control one sub. And it also makes me feel like I'm at work when I play that game. Because all the interfaces are just like straight Windows interface. Visentrop, I enjoyed watching the VOD of testing sonar buoys the other week. Glad you like it. I need to do it in RA, and then I'll be making a video presenting my findings to the community. Some of those conclusions for Lawami with respect to kilos are a little ridiculous. It's kind of crazy how quiet they are in this. I don't even know if they're that quiet in RA. But I guess it's worth noting those are kilo improves that we were testing against. 636. Project 636. Helps visualize circuits. Circuits kind of gave me trouble. Kind of. DC circuits are fine. When you start getting AC, that gets crazy. Graph paper, oh yeah. I love drawing submarines on graph paper. I got a drawing of one around here somewhere. I drew like LA and Typhoon next to each other. LA is so small next to a Typhoon. Or is Typhoon so big next to an LA? Oh. That's like that. No, that's more like that Keanu Reeves meme. Yeah, I need to be getting into some Fleet Command. I played some of that a while back. Alrighty. What we got? Toad is just straightening out. Still got weird data. And we're just chilling, man. We're taking our time. Letting them come to us. They're in like this little like diamond formation. I don't know. Some kind of like little like snowplow formation thing going on here. But yeah, I'm thinking we come in real close. Probably shoot from like 4 miles maybe. We can do passive torps and nice and quiet. And then we're just gonna exfil the same way we came in. Just gonna freaking just head this way. I don't know what's back here. We'll probably figure out more of that as we get closer, but right now it's all unknown stuff. Man, this rate is gonna have to be 2 streams before we do this. Might just speed it up a little bit here. 20 miles. What do we start at? Nearly 30? Yeah, don't worry about those pings getting too loud. Lawami active sonar ranges are terrible in Lawami. Yep, steadily getting louder. Have we got them on sphere yet? Nope. Well, most of the group is actually in the baffles. We might be able to see Master 3 on the sphere, but I'm not going to maneuver just for him. Kind of maneuvering away slightly at the same time. Giving us a little more time here. Doing a slight time lapse. Or the old lapse in judgment, as I like to always say. If there's going to be a submarine out here, what kind of frequency are we going to be expecting? Like 125, right? Yeah. Hey, you see that 125? You start, it's when the pants crappening can start. No, I'm not seeing no nuke boats. I heard no fat lady. Forget the fat lady. You're obsessed with the fat lady. Drive us out of here. Yeah, there's a Ludo. It's Master 3, right? 7-1. Yeah. Right on the money. Luda. I'm like ever so faintly starting to hear ship noises. We are a little too far for WAA. That angle may be a little too steep. Kind of have to be more or less beaming someone to get them on WAA. The worst was when they'd call off the battle stations tracking 2 hours after they finally hit the rack. I want a big Typhoon looking thing that can shoot kilos out like torps. Oh my god, that would be enormous. Belgorod. But that thing's like a spy sub, isn't it? That little thing it dumps off. That thing's not really a frontline warship, is it? Guess I should be cognizant of 160 too. That's where some diesels would be, but there shouldn't be any diesels running with this group. Unless they've truly lost their marbles.